Hey guys, welcome back to the Hands On channel. I guess I owe you guys an explanation where I've been for the past couple of weeks, almost 3 weeks now. A lot of people, first of all, I just want to say thank you to all my loyal, faithful subscribers. I think I must have the best subscriber group of people on the entire internet. It's just very humbling, all the people that have come in and said, hey, what's going on? Where are you? You haven't posted anything, because I typically post at minimum 1 video per week, or usually about 2 videos a week is what I try for, but it doesn't always work out. So usually my audience hears from me, once a week or so or something like that. Or even if I don't post a video, oftentimes I'll go into the community page and I'll put something up there just to kind of let people know what I'm thinking about and what's going on, maybe a little hint of what the next video might be. But I wanted to explain to you guys what's been going on. So about 2.5, 3 weeks ago now, I got a message on one of my old videos. It was a video, it was about the Alex Jones defamation trial. So it really wasn't anything too racy or anything. It was just my opinion about the Alex Jones defamation trial and how I thought it was an injustice and basically a violation of Alex's due process and different things like that. Whether you like the guy or not, we live in a country that has certain rules, and due process is a big part of that, right? So I don't have to tell you, you guys know this already. You know how I feel about this stuff. So that being said, I made this video, I don't know, like 4 months ago or something, about Alex Jones and the defamation trial and all that stuff. Well, this snarky guy comes into the comments and he starts saying he's going to get my channel banned and my awful channel taken down. He threatened to smack me and different things like this. And under normal circumstances, I would never report or flag a comment like that, because I like to let people have the ability to, speak out against me. If they don't like what I'm saying, I'll try to come back in there and riff back and forth with them, right? So I did. I went in there and I was like, hey, how about instead of trying to get me banned, we have an actual cordial debate about it. Maybe we can solve some problems. Well, the guy comes back and he shows this video that had absolutely nothing to do with the Alex Jones content that I had talked about in the video that we were referring to, right? And anyway, the guy called me all manner of different things. I can't remember if he called me a terrorist or said I was doing terroristic things. I don't remember. I'll put the thing right here so you guys can see it. Check it out. This is what the guy said. Now, you tell me, if you saw that, would you feel threatened by that? So anyways, it made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I was like, okay, why is this guy doing this? He had a hashtag in there. And later on, my wife and I were talking about it, and she was like, yeah, they're probably doing that to flag all their other communist buddies to come over there and also report your video. So eventually I took the comment down. I was like, no, I'm reporting this stuff as harassment or whatever. I didn't have very many choices, but harassment fit it the best. And I thought, yeah, this is harassing. This guy's coming in here threatening to have my channel removed, saying that I'm awful and everything I say is lies, when he didn't provide any specific detail about any of the things in the videos that I talked about that were lies. He just does. It's the way these liberals operate. They just say, you're a liar, and you'll say, well, what did I lie about? And they won't offer any proof whatsoever. They'll oftentimes do misdirection. So anyhow, long story short, YouTube gave me a strike. And I'm certain it was because that guy was going through my video catalog and reporting every video that I have. And finally, YouTube agreed with one of them. And it was, I can't go into very much depth here. So I recommend, if you want to know more about it and really know what happened, go over to my Rumble page. And in fact, that's one good thing that's come about because of this. For a long time, many of my subscribers have been asking me to go over to Rumble and start a Rumble page or go somewhere else so that I don't get nuked. And I've been hesitant to do it because, it's a lot of work just to operate the YouTube channel and to deal with the comments and the different things that are going on here on YouTube. So I was real hesitant to do that to begin with. But once they banned me for 2 weeks and gave me my second strike and basically told me that if this happens one more time within the next 90 days, they will nuke my channel, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go start a Rumble page, if nothing else, just so that I'll have the records of all the work that I've done, trying to expose the New World Order and all the other bad things that have gone on. So Why did they ban me? What was the reason they gave me the strike? Well, they said election misinformation, promoting false ideas that are basically threatening democracy, democracy, democracy. You know how they always like to talk about democracy like it's basically their god, one of their gods, which is unreal because we're not a democracy. I've said it many times. The United States of America is a republic. Yes, there are some democratic aspects to the way our republic functions, but we're not a democracy. The founding fathers were dead set against full, pure democracy, right? So anyway, this guy goes in there, and I guess he has nothing better to do than go around to people that he disagrees with and have their channel nuked. And that's basically what happened. So I wasn't able to post anything. If you don't know, YouTube has a 3-strike system, and the first strike you get banned for 7 days. Well, I've already been through that here recently. The second strike you get banned for 14 days, and that means you can't post anything. I could comment to my people. So if somebody came in, one of my subscribers came in on one of my other videos and commented to me, then I could comment back to them and tell them, hey, I'm in trouble over here, so that's why I'm not posting anything. But I had an overwhelming outpouring across every social media platform that I'm a part of, which is not many. Now it's 3. It's basically YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble. Those are the ways you can get a hold of me. And I had an incredible outpouring of just people checking on me, making sure I'm okay, things like that. And again, I just want to thank you guys. I don't want to go on too long. I actually had a whole nother video that I was going to put up here on YouTube, and I did put it up, but I never shared it. I never made it live, right? I never made it public. I just put it in there as a draft to see what would happen. And sure enough, they flagged it as inappropriate for most advertisers or something like that. So essentially, they demonetized that video. And I was like, well, I don't want to take any chances of getting another strike on my first day back. So I just took the video down, deleted it, and I moved it over to my Rumble page. So you can check out the Hands On channel on Rumble. Now, the weird thing about Rumble is they wouldn't let me put spaces in there. So I couldn't put the space Hands On channel, right? I couldn't do it that way. I had to just make it all one word. So you'll have to search it that way, I'm sure. The Hands On channel, all one word, no spaces. And you should be able to find my Rumble page. I'll also provide a link down in the description or maybe in the comment section or something like that. But I highly advise you guys, go over there to that channel. I'll be able to talk a lot more freely over there. And so my plan for YouTube is I'm going to try to hold my ground here because I believe YouTube is very important ground. I'm going to try to hold my ground and keep fighting here as much as I possibly can. But since I know that basically I'm over the target now, and how you know you're over the target is you receive the most flack. And I've been getting tons of flack, not just from commenters and people trying to get me banned, but from YouTube itself. So that being said, I'm going to, I don't really even want to say dial it down. That's not the proper way to say it. I'm not dialing anything down. I'm just not going to be putting as contentious of political content on this YouTube channel because I know at least right now for the next 90 days I'm on probation. So anything else happens, my channel gets nuked. And so I'm sure that these trolls that are out there, this probably gives them great pleasure to know that they were able to go and tattle on somebody and get them in trouble with the principal, with the big boss or whatever at YouTube, right? And I was just talking to my wife before I came out here. I honestly wouldn't have very much problem with YouTube's restrictions except for one thing. It's very nebulous. It's very gray. You're unsure where you can go on different topics. Like, let me give you some examples. One of them is anything to do with the 2020 election. Soon enough, although it hasn't kicked in yet as far as I know, soon enough it will be anything to do with the 2022 election that goes against the grain of the mainstream media. See, that's what it is. They don't want any dissent. And they're going to squash any dissent that they come across. And the only thing I can think of, every time I think about what's actually going on here in our country, I'm just like, yeah, communism. That's why I'm always talking about it so much here on my channel, is that that's what this is. These people are acting like communists. So the fortunate thing is we've dealt with communists in the past, and we know how to deal with them. The old Americans know how to deal with them. This new generation of Americans has no idea. Anytime you say the word communist, their eyes glaze over and they don't believe or want to hear anything else you have to say. But the older Americans, they know I'm not just making stuff up. This is a tenet of communism, what they're performing right now. They're limiting speech, whether they want to call it hate speech or spreading misinformation or whatever they want to come up with to call it. You know, I'm also not allowed to talk about the COVID, at least not very much. I can talk about some things that have been released now, but that was one of the first things that got me in trouble here on YouTube. Was I was fighting back pretty hard against the forced V and all the other stuff that was going on, and basically that's when I got my first warning. And the warning doesn't hold the same consequences as an actual hard strike, but now I have 2 hard strikes on my channel. And again, in the next 90 days, if anything else happens, if any one of these other little soy boys comes into my comments section and starts flagging me on YouTube, and then YouTube agrees with that, then I'll get nuked. And see, what really bothers me about it, and the reason I was saying it's very nebulous, is the video that I got nuked for just most recently, I was only hinting around at my feelings about the 2020 election. I never came out and said, this is definitive, this is what happened, this is how it went down. I didn't even say I believe this or anything like that. It was very veiled. It was a discreet comment that was just kind of tongue-in-cheek. It really wasn't even the content of the video. So YouTube has decided to basically crack down on anyone that disagrees with the mainstream narrative. And we've all known this for a while, and I'll admit I've been feeling the corners because everything is so nebulous. I need to find out where that line is, right? Since there's no definitive line listed on YouTube's policies in terms of conditions and guidelines, then I'm not exactly sure. I know certain things that I'm not allowed to say, but I don't know how inclusive that is to all the other things like hinting around at it and things like that. Well, apparently YouTube didn't think I was discreet enough, or they didn't think that my comment was veiled enough, and they gave me that strike. So that's where I've been, guys. I'm not dead. The rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated, to quote Mark Twain, and I've been doing a lot of research on a lot of other new shows that I've got in mind. I'm just going to have to steer clear of certain issues here on YouTube. But what I hope to do is bring you guys in with some shorter clips and shorter videos. Perhaps I'll be able to make the video that I really want to make and then upload it to Rumble, and I can just bring like a little 30-second or 1-minute clip over here and share it with you guys, and hopefully that will compel you to go over to Rumble, and you'll know when I'm dropping a new video over on Rumble. But please, if you don't mind, go over, check out my Rumble page. If it's something you want to be a part of, subscribe. They don't have a thumbs up system. They have a plus system, like rumbles they call it. And so instead of thumbs up, it's how many rumbles do you get. And sort of like YouTube, the more rumbles you get, the more pluses you get, the better that video is going to do in the Rumble algorithm. And I wanted to tell you this one little note here. I wasn't thinking I was going to get very many views over on Rumble because, you know, brand new channel. I just started it like last week sometime, and I don't have very much content up there. I've got like maybe 6 videos, and the videos that I put up there were either videos that were banned on YouTube previously, or the most recent one, or they're videos where I'm just calling it like I see it, and I'm not editing myself at all. So I think you might be interested to go over there, and it may just do your brain and your mind and your ears good to hear someone actually saying the truth and not having to censor and edit themselves. I know for me personally, it made me feel a lot better just to be able to say these things out loud for the first time in a long time in a public way, where before I could only think these things. And it's basically, we're getting down to a point of where it's thought crime these days, guys. We're in such dangerous waters that I don't even really have the words to describe how dangerous things are. The Titanic doesn't describe it. I mean, when this thing goes sideways, when this whole country starts to go sideways because of whether it's economic collapse or civil war or, whatever, World War III, whatever it may be that causes us to go sideways, people aren't going to be wanting to help each other out because Americans have basically turned on each other and been turned on each other. Remember all the stuff with Janet Reno and whoever else came along after that and said, oh, if you see something, say something. They were trying to promote Americans to rat out and snitch on their fellow Americans. And it's just unreal. And Biden has done a similar thing since he's come in. And that's what this clown over on YouTube decided to do. They targeted my channel. They didn't like what I was saying. They couldn't argue with my positions, so they had to ban me. That's basically what it comes down to. These liberal commies are so freaking weak and so conditioned to just scream at the sky when they don't get their way, like little tiny babies, like infants that got a boo-boo or something. They're just screaming at the sky for no reason, like as if that's going to do anything to solve any problems. When I invite this person to come in and have a cordial debate with me, and he refuses to do so. Instead, he decides to bring all his buddies in there to flag my video, because apparently if you get enough flags on a video, then YouTube will take it down. And shame on YouTube for setting up a system like this, where they encourage people to come in and snitch on other creators. Just unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. So that's what's been going on, guys. I had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I got to eat turkey and, celebrate with family and stuff like that. And, I'm not saying that this stuff didn't piss me off, because I was enraged for several days after I got the strike. And especially after I got the strike and I tried to appeal it, and they don't even, you don't get to talk to a live person if you don't know. If you're a creator and you get a strike, a robot sends you a message, and then you're allowed to appeal that if you think they've made a mistake or something, and you can write a little short, brief summary of why you think they made a mistake, and then send that back in, and it's up to the robot to decide whether or not they were incorrect or not in their initial assessment. And so a short time later, after I put my appeal in, YouTube sent it back and said, no, this video violates our terms of service, and you've basically been given a second strike, so no videos for you, no posting anything on your community page or anything like that. So that's why I haven't been able to communicate with you guys. Please go over and check out my Rumble page, just in case I get vaporized here on YouTube, because it's very, very likely that I will. I've been going through my old videos just to make sure there's nothing in there that I said tongue-in-cheek that will get me busted again, like this last video, because again, that video was up for like 8 months. So this is not some new video that I just put up. This was an old video that I put up a long time ago, the one they busted me for. So I think it was about the Texas power outages. I'm not 100% sure about that, but you can go over to my Rumble page and find all of this banned content over there. And my hope is to be able to start producing content exclusively for Rumble when it's too saucy for YouTube, when it's just too hot for these MSM mush heads to be able to handle it, or when I think that I'm going to trigger some or when I think I'm going to trigger some SJWs into trying to report my channel and stuff like that. I'll just go over to Rumble and put it there, and maybe I'll leave a little, a breadcrumb or something, so you guys will know when I post a new video. Or perhaps what I'll do is make my normal content, like my nightly news type deal. Perhaps I'll make the news show like I normally do, and then at the end of the news, I'll say, hey, if you want to know the rest of the story, go over to my Rumble page and check that out, and then we'll continue on or something like that. So guys, again, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, even though I know I'm a day late and $1 short. I hope you get to spend a great amount of time with your family and your loved ones and doing the things that you love to do, and you're thankful for all of those things. And I'm thankful for you as an audience. I really appreciate the support. I appreciate everyone coming in and checking on me. It really was humbling to me. And again, I think I have the best audience on pretty much any online platform that I'm aware of. So guys, I really appreciate it. Please go check out our Rumble page. I'm not giving up. Don't worry about that. But I am going to have to be a lot more cautious than I have been in the past, especially for the next 90 days or so. So go back and watch our older videos. If you see something that you think might get me flagged, find a way to tell me in the comments or something like that. Or go over to Facebook and private message me over there on Facebook or something like that. Let me know if you see something that you think YouTube's going to, get me for later on, because I spent the last 2 weeks going through all of my videos, and I had like over 400 videos uploaded, and I removed like 50 plus videos because I was just like, well, what can I really do other than just take them down? And I hated to do that because that's hard work and a lot of editing and a lot of comments. I hated to see people's comments get just vaporized like that, but again, they won this battle, but, as long as I'm standing, I'm not going to let them win the war. As always, guys, I stand for liberty to the bitter end. And although that end may be coming soon on YouTube, I'm trying to back everything up over on Rumble to where we can at least still communicate in the future. I appreciate it as always. Thanks for stopping by. Happy Thanksgiving. And until then, we'll see you next time.